that was the entire presentation.
Okay.
This slideshow right here sold me more annuities than you can even imagine. I think I have 50 plus annuity clients, and I didn't really sell them the entire time, which I should have. But it's not a tough program. It's pretty simple.
Hello, everybody. Grady Polson here, Family First Life America. Beyond excited to have a 4-time Hall of Fame producer, integrity partner, and annuity specialist, Mr. Frank Eufemia, on with us. Frank is the pioneer of mortgage protection training at FFL, and now the pioneer for taking our annuity production from a few $100 million a year to $1 billion a year. And beyond excited to have him on here with us, talking training. The way he makes the complex simple and helps relate to clients only comes from his years of running in-person appointments and getting face-to-face and challenging clients to truly protect their family. And then now doing all he can to help clients make sure they make the best financial moves with their money in this very volatile market. So beyond excited to have Frankie on here today. We're going to talk about annuities and the value they have and what you can do to start selling more for your business. So without further ado, how are we doing, Frankie?
And I'm fantastic. Thanks for that intro. I don't even deserve that. It's nuts.
Let's go, baby.
I love how always make everybody feel our team so big.
I try to say things that I wish people one day would say about me. So that's kind of...
Dude, you're great. You really are great.
So, well, perfect, man. Well, I know that you've done a big focus recently of starting to spearhead some, the increasing of annuities, right? So we had, for clarity, you might see FFLAMS around .com. That's our corporate advanced market sales training website. Well, we did a rebrand recently. Now we're calling it SRS, which just is not another confusing acronym. It's the goal is to make it easier, which stands for Simple Retirement Solutions, because annuities, IULs are phenomenal products that we all have access to with our life insurance license. And in doing so, it allows us to not just sell whole and term products based on final expense or mortgage protection or whatever sort of marketing we're taking. It allows us to truly help clients save for retirement with IULs and protect their retirement with annuities. And I know you, with many of your team over the years, have written millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars of annuities. And that's what we're excited about today, is to kind of dig into maybe your process and mindset of how you're approaching the client, how you're finding the money, kind of common objections you get. So I'll pass it to you if you want to screen share whatever you got, or if I can be comedic relief, I'm always here for you, bro.
All right. So I'm going to start simple, just because, you probably got a mixture of seasoned agents, fairly seasoned, newer and new, right? So
of course.
And the numbers, check this number out. So weekly, on average, FFL has 7,000 agents submit a life app.
Wow.
Guess how many of those 7,000 submitted an annuity app?
70?
100. So yeah, but both are nauseating.
Yeah.
Because the number should be, like, if FFL does a $500 million in life premium, the annuity volume should be 1.5 to 2 billion in annuity premium or annuity volume. And we're not even close to that. So I'm going to start with just a simple presentation. If you guys went to any of the training camps or the conferences, the fall sales or the spring sales conferences, you would have saw this. But it's a 10-minute presentation, and for me, simple is easy. I loved Ruggiero. I thought he was a great trainer. He was a genius in my mind.
Yes. But
when he spoke, the way he spoke, the language he used, I'm going like, I can't say that. People are gonna look at me and go like, somebody, you got an earpiece thing. Somebody's telling you what to say because you're not that smart. So, and our clientele's not that way either. At least my market, right? And you may be running in a higher eclectic market than I ran in Baltimore City, Grady, for 10 plus years. And so it's a working class town. not much, not great wealth. Not, in fact, most of them are poor or on the lower income side. So they're not trying to have somebody come in and talk to them as if they're a Yale graduate talking to a middle school kid, right?
Got it.
When I go to any appointment, I try to just meet people where they're at. I ran appointments in the summertime, and if I lived in Arizona, I'd run appointments in shorts, flip flops, and a t-shirt because it's hot. Like, you got people will go like, you're running appointments in shorts? Yeah, it's 90 degrees outside. It'd be weird if I wore pants. It's freaking hot. So everything I did was just try to relate and compare it to clients, right? And so when I started presenting annuities, and I'll get into that after I go through this, I wanted to make it simple. So here's a simple 101 on what annuities are. There are three different types of annuities. We have variable annuities, we have fixed annuities, and then we have indexed annuities. FFL sells indexed annuities. Pretty simple, right? I have to figure out how to make this slideshow go, so bear with me. How does an index annuity work? And this is the presentation, and Grady, I would use in a home. I would draw it on the back of a lead sheet,
Okay.
but I would draw a line up just like this blue line. I go, listen, Grady, when the market's doing well, your money's going to grow. It'll go north. Cool thing is when the market drops, which is the red dotted line, we have an airbag pop out and it protects your money. At that point, your money will just stay level, which is the light blue dash line. When the market goes back up, your money will start to rise again. And then when it drops, the airbag will pop out again and keep your money level. And that will repeat as long as you have your money in an annuity. That was the entire presentation.
Okay.
This slideshow right here sold me more annuities than you can even imagine. I think I have 50 plus annuity clients, and I didn't really sell them the entire time, which I should have. But it's not a tough program. It's pretty simple. Benefits to an annuity, real simple. Protects your money from market risk, avoids probate, provides lifetime income if you want it, gives you a cash bonus, and deferred taxation if you have qualified funds. Those are the 5 basic benefits to an annuity. Types of money we can roll: 401k, 403b, IRA, Roth IRA, cash, TSP, CDs, savings, any type of inheritance. If you get a large cash settlement, you can use that. Just ideas of how you can find money.
Can you go back to real quick? Go back 2 slides for me real quick. Benefits annuity. Now, is there one, like, so just from so the agents here, because we got a bunch of sharp people that are trying to start selling these.
Yep.
So we got 5 benefits. Is there one that that's like 80% or 50% of what you're trying to really hammer them on? Or is it based, are you asking them questions it's gonna determine? Like, what's your approach so we can make sure that these guys are getting the right word tracks?
I mean, the biggest benefit is protect your money from market risk.
Okay.
End of story. That's the number one thing that people want the most. They don't want to lose any money. And in fact, you can go, Grady, the market can do 3 things, right? It can go up, it can go down, or it can stay the same. If you could eliminate one, which would it be?
Go down.
Of course. That's what an annuity is. So if I had to rank those, that's why it's the first one. It's definitely protects your money from market risk. It could be lifetime income. I mean, some people want to, and most people put money in an IRA, or a 401k, a TSP, a 403b to subsidize Social Security when they retire. So lifetime income is a big deal for annuities, and works. Essentially, that's all Social Security is it's a permanent annuity, and it's going to pay you income till the day you die, whether that's 74 or 104. You're going to get paid that Social Security income. If you put your money in an annuity that has a lifetime income, it's going to work the same way. So it really does. It does depend on what they're looking for.
Okay.
But these are the things I hit on most of the time. I mean, there are some other ones like, there are some products that have 0 fees. So you could literally go, we can move your money into an account that's never going to lose a dime no matter what the market's doing. It can grow exponentially with an uncapped strategy. And oh, by the way, we're not going to charge you a dime. Can your financial advisor say that he could do the same? He'd be like, no. My favorite thing by far would be sitting in an appointment, because most of them aren't that smart and they lose their cool very quick. So it's pretty simple. So, but did that answer your question?
Yeah,
It's
that's
it's
great.
it's
That's what we want to hammer. Like, Betty, do you want to lose any more of your money? You see what's going on in the market. You see what's happening. You turn on do you watch the news? Of course I watch the news, right? That's what all people do. All they do is watch the news, right?
right.
Volatility of the market. This protects your money from it ever going down again.
That's right.
Like that's what we're trying to do, right, Berman? Okay, so the next one. So based on the money, like different money that can go in,
Yep.
is there three that you focus on? Like what is most common? Like what are these like? Because some of these terms, I even don't even know. I mean, the 403B I should know, TSP I should know, but like, if I'm sitting at home and I hear boom, boom, or boom, I go boom. I know I can hit up the SRS team and we can definitely get this into an annuity.
Yeah. I mean, the main ones are your 401ks. 403B is a teachers union retirement account typically.
Okay.
So you know, any teachers you meet with, IRAs, 401ks, TSPs. TSP is a government retirement plan. So in Maryland, we have a bunch of military bases, and then we're close to DC. So you also have a lot of government work. So TSPs are pretty prevalent here in Maryland. But if I was in Arizona, it would be 401k, 403b, IRA, Roth IRA. That would be the ones I would hit on.
Okay.
I mean, it could be any of those. Like I just
have money. They got money there. Is there any money you can't touch? Is it 401ks before 59 and a half? Like, we don't need to get crazy technical, but just kind of like cash is easiest.
And that's, yeah. So 401ks, most of the time, 59 and a half and older is gravy, but that's not always the case. I mean, you can meet with a 35-year-old that works at well, give me a business in Arizona that's been around for a long time.
Hensley Budweiser, big company.
Okay. So they say they worked at Hensley for 20 years or 17 years. They got out of high school, went there. And then Hensley decided last year they're going to change the management company that handles the 401k. Well, at that point in time, they're allowed to move any of that money that was in the account prior to the new company taking over. Or if that same person worked there and then left and started a new job, you can take that old 401k from a previous job. So I always tell people, just ask and then get it to the SRS team and we'll tell you what questions to ask. Don't get too excited if they're not above the age of 59 and a half, because 9 times out of 10, you can't touch the money, but you never know. So I always ask everybody, 18 to 80. I'd ask them all.
I love it.
All right. And this is kind of hitting on what you were just asking me. Who's our ideal client? Well, 59 years of age or older, working or retired, a person with a retirement account from a previous job, because you can move, even if they went from working at Nike to working at Adidas and they took their 401k from Nike to Adidas, anything they rolled into that new 401k, they can move again. They're allowed to reallocate or distribute. Anybody received a lump sum settlement in a lawsuit or in a big car accident, or they received an inheritance of some sort. Anybody that has the ability to do what they call an in-service distribution, that's a 401k, 403b. Those accounts have rules. Some companies allow their employees to do in-service distributions even prior to the age of 59 and a half. At 59 and a half, the government encourages these companies to go, you know what, allow these folks that have worked for retirement to start protecting their money at 69 or 59 and a half, because retirement's close. And if they lose 30, 40, 50% of their money at 60, they're going to be stuck working an extra 4 or 5 years to recoup that. So let's allow them to move that out and maybe put it in something like an annuity to protect it, if that makes sense.
That's awesome.
I mean, person with savings account. I mean, a lot of seniors just have money in a savings account, which is mind-boggling because it gets no interest, or under a mattress in a safety deposit box. Like, that's very real. Like I know a lot of Italian people that have cash everywhere. I mean, they won't put it in the bank. They don't trust the banks. But they'll put it in something that will grow as long as they know it's not, you know what I mean? It's safe. So, I mean, you can move, and you just got to ask the question. How do you find your annuity clients, Grady? Well, the easiest way is an intake sheet. And And Hayden's going, I'm going like, do you think they're even using that sheet? He's like, yeah. I'm like, are they just not asking the question? He's like, no, they're probably asking. I'm like, okay. Well, then if you're asking, what do you have that acts like life insurance, IRA, 401k, 403b, TSP? You have to be finding people that have that because, I mean, I'd say 70% of people have something. And out of the 70 that have something, if you're talking to 10 people, you should find at least 2 to 3 that have some sort of money that you can look at. And out of the 2 to 3, maybe one will allow you to come back to do a presentation. I mean, those are the numbers. They've been the numbers forever. So when I look at what's going on here, I'm going, we're just not asking. And don't get it twisted. Like, this is our fault, not yours. It's Grady's fault. It's my fault. It's Mark Mead's fault. It's Wetmore's fault. Nina, like, we have not talked about this stuff the way it should have been talked about for the last 2, 3, 4 years. And for that reason, our annuity volume is where it is. But
Yeah.
the fact of the matter is, without annuities, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to y'all today. Many a months where cash flow was tight, or I had agent leave and roll debt back and a shitty sales week, pardon my French. It always seemed like at the worst times an annuity would fund and my bank account would be flush. You're leaving piles of money on the table by either asking the question and just brushing it aside or not asking the question. So ask the golden, or ask this question off the client intake sheet, and then ask them the golden question at the end of the appointment. Hey, I remember you said you had a 401k. If I could show you a way to take advantage of the upside of the market, but eliminate the downside risk, would that be something you'd be interested in learning about? Again, if I could show you a way to take advantage of the upside of the market, but eliminate all the downside risk, would that be something you'd be interested in learning about? It's not, would that be something you'd be interested in buying? Would that be something you'd be interested in doing? Just learning about. And if people say no, they're, with all due respect, they're dumb, right? Because who doesn't want to learn something new?
Yeah.
And it's disarming, it's very casual. Most people will say, sure, you can, most of them will say, sure, you can send me some information. And I would go, well, it's a little more complicated than that. Why don't we get together at the same time next week and I can go over some stuff with you? And they go, okay, cool. I mean, it's really that simple, Grady. But if you're not asking, you're never going to find it.
I go back to that real quick. Sorry. I want to jump in
Yep.
here to validate what you're saying. So I'll tell you my story, right? I get started, I find leads, I find out that I go meet with clients, and I book up 15 appointments on Monday and 15 appointments on Thursday and run like a bat out of hell. And like you, I'm sure I was the #1 producer in my agency for 50 out of 52 weeks a year because I wanted the right to coach and the right to lead and the respect for my team. And the 2 weeks I didn't was probably when Julius would have popped up with an annuity or two. But I would ask the question, right? Hey, and I would ask the question, guys. And if you're not asking the question, you're just shooting yourself in the foot completely. But I asked the question to validate myself as a broker and as a professional, right? Now, Betty, what do you have that acts like life insurance? Because I also want to know what they have. If they got 500 grand in cash, then I'm not going to be able to sell her $132 whole life because she's going to, laugh in my face, right? So for you, for the clarifying of the doing a good, financial analysis of your client, what do you have that acts like life insurance? IRA, 401k, 403b, TSB, any cash into the bank account, any investments, expecting any windfalls of cash here in the near future. You got the winning lottery ticket in the drawer over there, right? You're just kind of chatting it up and you'll get your line as you say it enough. And I would always ask, I'd get the number and I wouldn't do anything with it. And that was a biggest mistake that I regret in my business where it is today, is that I didn't take the opportunity to just take that simple extra 5 hours a week and develop myself, process those, go sit with some clients and do it. And now you fast forward, I got Brad Allen sent me this text. Year to date, Frankie, 5.3 million books, over 1 million sold pending, personal best, had to share the good news. This places me squarely as the #1, and God willing, we're only halfway to what I will achieve this year. Because he asks the question in every moment and then follows up on it. And so this guy will make, he could potentially make
$500,000. $500,000. Just if what he has pending now and what he's already issued, he's gonna make $500,000.
Yeah. And that's just, these are simple, fun appointments where the clients leave with hugs and kisses and you've set them up. And these are, I mean, it's probably, you know, 1 to 3 appointments a week versus the 30, right? I mean, you really want, remember Linda Lampasso would talk, she'd do 12 appointments a week, right? As you elevate your business, you can become more efficient and you don't even have to work as hard. But you gotta blow the rev limiter off at some point, get up to that 7, 8, 9,000 RPMs, learning these things so that you can toggle it back and cruise because you've developed the skills. And this is a simple way to immediately double your weekly income, double your monthly income, double your annual income. So that was my experience. But I mean, how do you get good at asking the golden question? Practice it in the mirror 50 times. Sounds silly, right? Well, some of you will do it and say it this week and get your first annuity, and some of you will stay where you are. And that's your choice. And Frankie and I will sit here and we'll go, I don't know why some do it, some won't. Jim Rohn says, don't sign up for that class. And so when the band rolls on. But if you go practice that question, it'll come out of you naturally. And then the client may go, you know what? We've got 150,000 coming into us from a building that my mom owned that she was selling and wants to give us our inheritance while we're still alive. Really? You'll hear the craziest stuff ever by just being a good question asker and just doing the business and caring about your clients because you have the products. What else? What is their other option? They're going to go, you know, my grandson was telling me about this Bitcoin stuff. Should I buy that? You know, like they're just going to go. I was thinking about buying a farm in Kansas. You live in California, Mary. Yeah, but I heard that you can make a good return on your money on potatoes these days because of COVID. The potato prices have gone up. Like you'll hear the craziest stuff. So like, but why not you be like, hey, we've got an incredible company called Athene. They're A-rated. They give you a 16% deposit bonus on your money and they'll start paying you lifetime income as soon as you want to turn that on. Like, what? 16? Like, I mean, like, so I'll pass it back to you, but I love this stuff. I wish we sold more, and it just needs to be more and more conversations and more agents having the confidence in themselves to have that, to just step over that line just a little bit and start to talk to their clients about these other things that they can offer with their life insurance license.
100%. And it's coming, like it will. And I'm going to ask you, like I'm asking every other integrity partner, can we start weekly on these calls? Can you start doing an annuity leaderboard? Because the more we just talk about it, the more we'll make it. Yeah. I mean, it just makes sense. Why wouldn't we? And you're right. Like I was profitable because I used all 4 quadrants of what we do: final expense, mortgage protection, IULs, and annuities. And again, some months it was mortgage protection heavy, it was final expense heavy. Some months it was annuity heavy. Some months it was IUL heavy. But if I missed one of those quadrants and it was the heavy quadrant, then what did that mean? The month would have been light. So you have to, and here's what's funny, Grady. I wouldn't say 50%, but I would say damn near 25% of the annuities I wrote were on appointments I went to where they've already taken care of the insurance. Some agent came out, wrote them a policy, whether it was final expense or mortgage protection, and I got in the door anyway, and I went through everything with them, looked at their policy, I found their money, and they wound up going, well, dude, you're my guy. Can you write my life insurance? I'm like, let me see your policy. And 90% of the time, the agent didn't do what was best for him anyway. So I'd rewrite their insurance policy and I'd write them an annuity. So I'm telling y'all, it's the best for persistency. It's one of the best things you can do. Multiple policies in a home almost locks you in forever with a client. And if you're not doing it, some agent eventually will come behind you that does all of it and they'll take the business from you. And I'm not saying that to be a dick or scare you. Like that's facts. And I did a lot of replacements because most agents don't care enough about the clients to actually slow down and do what's right for them. They're just trying to make a quick sale. And this is important to them. It's their, if you think about it, Brady, most of the time when you roll $120,000 annuity for Sally, that's her life savings. Yeah. Do you think that means more to her at that moment in time than a $10,000 burial plan? You better believe it. So if we're going to actually serve these clients, why not serve them to the best of our ability? So Again, I love that, Grady. Practice the golden question. Say it, because it could be a little tongue twisty, but say it 150 times in the mirror. You'll get it. And you don't have to say exactly that, but say something along those lines. Hey, if you never lose money in the market, and you can make money when it's growing, would you be good with that? You want to learn about that? Yeah, I don't care how you say it, just say something, and you'll get better and better as you go. Make sense?
Yeah, I love it, man.
All right. So also you can find clients this way. If you ask the silver question, do you consider yourself a saver or a spender? If they say they're a saver, more than likely they have annuity money. If they say they're a spender, then it's a great candidate for an IUL because they spend their money. They're probably not saving it. They need to start saving it to go, if I could show you a way to save your money, give you life insurance, and then tax-free retirement at some point down the road, that'd be something you'd be interested in learning about? Hell yeah. But it's just all questions that we ask regularly. And I'd have to say, I'm almost positive that a lot of people probably don't use the financial intake or the client intake sheet there, because there's just no way that if they're using it, they're fine, because you fall into money. Like you said, you'll hear the craziest stuff, you'll fall into it. So what do you do if you find money, right? You found somebody with a 401k from an old job. You ask the golden question, like, yes, I'd like to learn about that. You go to the Ask a Specialist button. You can go to the ILC, it's down here, or you can go to FFLAMS.com.
Correct.
And hit Ask a Specialist here. You fill a form will pop up. You fill in the information, like how much money they have, their name, their age, short-term goals, long-term goals, is it qualified? You hit submit. Now there's 3 options now. There's going to be 4, but there's 3. The first option is, annuities, you know how to sell annuities, what products to use. They're going to send you an illustration. They're going to send you an application. They're going to send you a bullet points on that product, the most important things to go over with the client on that product. Okay. And they'll do that for anybody. That's a normal Ask a Specialist. Option number 2 is, you're pretty comfortable, but you'd like to have somebody that would be there while you're in the home in case you get stuck on something, in case the client asks you a question you don't know the answer to. Want that option. Specialist, one of the SRS teams, like a guy like Brad Allen, who will go pick up the phone while you're in an appointment. You do a 90-10 split. You take 90, you give him 10 for being there throughout the entire process of that annuity application and getting it funded. And then option 3, Grady, is you don't know anything about annuities. You want to learn and you want to watch from one of the best. You go, I'll do a 50-50 split. If you get on, present the annuity, walk me through how to get it submitted, walk me through underwriting, walk me through getting the money transferred, and then I'll learn from you. You can do a 50-50 split, watch somebody do that, which to me is genius, because that's how most annuity, right? That's how most annuity companies work. That's how they get so many people selling, is because they're actually having people watch somebody do it. You could do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times if you want to. It shouldn't take you more than twice. I mean, and probably only 1 time to get how they do it. Because again, they're not that complicated. And most of the clients that you guys sit with and meet with, they're not going to have millions of dollars. They're going to have 150,000 or less, maybe 200, whatever. And it's a simple process of, they just want to make sure that what they have now isn't going down over the next 3-4 years while they wait to retire. You show them a simple illustration with the projections, go over the surrender fees and all that good stuff, and then you take the app. So I love that. The 4th option is going to be this, Grady, for people like you back in the day that found money that just left it sitting there. You go, I don't care. I don't want to do annuities. I'm going to keep doing what I do. I'm in the final expense groove. Okay, so you find somebody with money, ask them the question at the end. You go, okay, perfect. We're going to have one of our specialists from our retirement department reach out to you. So look out for their call. And all you're going to do is you're going to go to the SRS page and you're going to fill in their name, their phone number, address, and anything else you have about them, and hit submit. And it's probably going to ask you for your Athene writing number and all your other annuity writing numbers. And then one of the SRS people will close the deal and just give you 10% for giving a name and a phone number. So we're going to have some weight.
Can I submit all my old clients right now? I have like 500 people uploaded the system right now.
Right. Well, listen, this is what we're doing. I've got lists of clients, current clients, lapsed policy clients, and I have agents calling them, asking them all these questions. Lapsed policies we're getting back on the books. Current clients of orphan agents going, hey, we opened the retirement section of our company. We're just calling to see if you had anything that act like life insurance, IRA, 401k, 403b that you don't want to have exposure in the market with. I mean, it's simple stuff, but we're not doing it yet, or we're doing it, but the whole company's not doing it. At some point we will, but those options should increase the annuity volume. I mean, 50% at least in the next 6 months, but we honestly should be 3 times bigger than the life side.
Is that what you see in other companies? Is whatever the life is, it's 3 times in annuity production. It's a 3x. If we're doing 500 in life, we should be doing 1.5 billion in annuities, or what do you see in other, at least
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Well, at least the same, but no, I'm thinking it should be for every 400,000 I wrote in life, I write about 1.2 in annuities.
Yeah. Look at the market today. So the market went down 1% today.
Yeah.
How much? I don't want to look at my account right now. I wish it was in an annuity. I should sell myself in it.
Well, and dude, what's funny here, and if y'all have any young kids, dude, just play around and put 50 grand into an annuity on a 10-year-old or an 18-year-old. Because I think with the thing, I think you got to be 18. Put 50 grand in an account on an 18-year-old and see what it looks like when they're 60. Like, if you want to have your mind blown, it will freak you out. You're going like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
The cheat. What's the answer? What approximate ballpark? You know, we're not going to hold you to it, but what?
Dude, I'll pull you on up. Like 25 million ish, like a shit ton of money. It's stupid. It's stupid because that's 40 plus years of compounding interest, right? With no loss. So there's some great plans. Wait a minute. Let me go back. We'll get through this. You don't need to be a financial expert to do this. All you need to do is gain clients' trusts, ask a specialist. And again, if you need help, we're here to help you. If you don't want the help and you want to do it on your own, do it. Like I didn't have help when I wrote my first annuity. Like I winged it and I figured it out. But with the application, the PowerPoint, or the points of bullet points of the annuity product you're going to be pitching, dude, it shouldn't be that complicated.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the worst thing that can happen is that they don't grow. And if they're not growing, that means everybody else in the market is losing. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It really is a no-brainer. So what do we need to know if you were going to call and ask for help, or what does ask a specialist need to know? How much money they have? Is it qualified or none? What are they looking to do short-term and long-term with the money? And if they have an account statement. And you can even black out your account number and even your name, black all that out. I just want to see the statement so that we can look at how much money you've made or lost over the last quarter. Also want to be able to look up how much in fees they're charging you, because they charge fees for sure. And a lot of them are hidden. And that's what's BS about this whole game is, like, what most financial advisors will do is they'll go, Grady, all right, so if the market is going haywire and I can't get a hold of you, do you want me to have the ability to take your money out of something that's losing its ass and move it into something protected?
Yes.
Okay. So they'll have you sign a custodial agreement, which gives them the right to move your money anytime they want. Here's what's messed up. Let's just say they're having a low month in volume and they're light on cash flow. They'll take 3 or 4 accounts and they'll move money out of one account into another, and then they'll get charged a load fee, which is commissionable. Now, you don't see the load fee because they don't put it in that category. It's deep in the statement where you can't see, but it happens all the time. So we're literally allowing people to take money out of an account that they have risk with, they're paying fees out the butt, and move it into something that's risk-free and sometimes no fees. If there is fees, it's a low rider fee, which is It's a charge. Like the lifetime income rider fee, it's a charge. You're paying for something tangible, right? Lifetime income. When you turn that on, it's going to last you, without a shadow of a doubt, it's going to be there until the day you die. That's what you're paying for. With an advisor, what are you paying for? Their expertise? It's a computer software that, I mean, these guys they're not Warren Buffett. They're reading a software. Like you could do it. Good. All you do is plug the numbers in the system and it tells you exactly what like. It blows my mind how everyone is so smart and sometimes we're intimidated by them. I told you my favorite thing to do is sit in an appointment with an advisor because it's so easy to throw them on tilt and all you do is ask them 3 questions. One, can you guarantee they're never going to lose a dime? Can you guarantee they're never going to lose a dime? And they'll start talking you in circles like a politician. And you go, dude, I asked you a yes or no question. Like, yes or no, can you guarantee that? And then eventually they have to say no. Then you go, can you guarantee lifetime income? Meaning once they start drawing money, it's going to last them the rest of their life. And then again, they can't ever just say yes or no. So they try to start talking. You go, Tom, it's a yes or no question. No. And then the last one is like, can you not charge them any fees ever? Well, and then usually by that time there's smoke coming out of their ears, their hair's on fire, and they lose it. Right. And they actually make it easier. It's easier to close an annuity with an advisor in the room than without. So that's my pitch on that. Does anybody have any on that simple stuff?
Yeah, if you got any questions, drop them in the chat right now. We've got a few more minutes with Frank.
Yeah.
Is there an ideal amount of money to start with? 10,000, 20,000?
I think Athene's minimum is 10.
Okay.
And just so you know, like these plans, they're not, it's not a short-term deal, right? And neither is a 401k. That's why 401ks, TSPs, IRAs, that's an ideal client because people put that money away so that they can use it to subsidize their Social Security and their pension when they retire. So the goal is to put it away and then take little chunks every month to make sure you can live monthly. So when people go, well, I can't use all my money. That wasn't your plan when you started this, and it's not your plan now. You're just saying that because it sounds good. But you're going to draw a portion of this little portion, 5%, usually anywhere from 3 to 5%, for the rest of your life. That's the goal. So that's an objection we hear a lot, Grady. Another objection we hear is, oh, this is too good to be true. I mean, usually broke people say that. I'm sorry. It's too good to be true. What does it even mean? Like everything we're showing you is going to be in a contract, black and white. Now, if you'd like, Grady, this is it's an insurance product. So it has what they call a 30-day free look. So if you're comfortable with me seeing if you qualify for this and me getting you a contract, I can do that and bring you the contract. You can take it to an attorney and have him read through it and have him let you know if it has lifetime income on it. If you can't lose any money due to market risk, if there are no caps in the strategies we picked, an attorney can tell you all that. And if he comes back to you and says, this is good, we're good. If he comes back to you and says, hey, Frank's full of it, give me the contract back, I'll send it back to the insurance company, they'll give you all your money back. But I'm not big on wasting my time. I'm certainly not big on wasting yours. So I'm not going to go through all of this if I can't provide what I'm telling you. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So it's really just, you get that less and less, I think, the more confident, the more comfortable you are presenting annuities. Because in the beginning, it is hard to go, like, you get all this stuff, and they're like, well, where's the downside? Well, the downside is the surrender charge. I mean, you're going to put this money in and leave it here or agree to leave it here for a certain period of time. And the only reason the insurance companies have to do that, Grady, is they can't guarantee you that you're never going to lose a dime if you were going to take your money in this year and then take it out next year. Like over 20 years period, the returns in the market anywhere from 7.5% to 8.5%. So they know over time that they're going to make money, and what they have that you don't have, Grady, is all the time in the world. So you can't afford to lose money where you're at, and they can afford to take a loss because they know in 10 years or 15 years they're going to get all those losses back plus 10 or 15%. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's how it works. So it's more so just talking about it, and you'll learn all these ins and outs as you do it more and more. That's why I think either doing, having one of those guys on standby to help you with an annuity while you're in an appointment, or even handling objections after 50-50 split is so priceless, because you'll hear them present, you'll hear them come those objections of it's too good to be true, or I need to talk to my financial advisor, I need to talk to my cousin who works on cars but also is a financial expert, which is crazy. You'll hear all kinds of stuff, but it's good to have that back, because that's how we learn the best. I mean, this is a copycat industry, right? I mean, most of the stuff I learned, I copied from somebody else. Same thing with Grady. Most of the stuff he learned, he copied from somebody else. Does he put his twist on it? Yeah, absolutely. And you will as you grow and go, but you can't ever get there if you don't start.
Yeah. Because they're all agents, and it's a fair question to ask. Compensation. How does the ballpark safely, compliant said, if I take Betty's 100,000 cash, she's 62, move it into an Athene product for 10 years, approximately what could I expect to earn on that?
How much did you move?
100
grand. I think I'm looking it up right now. The lowest annuity comp, I think, is 5%.
Okay.
So on $100,000 annuity, you'll deposit roughly 5 grand. I'm going to pull it up, and it goes up from there. I think once you submit.
And if I just found the money and called up one of the SRS team, and then they helped me walk it through, and I didn't have to do any work, but just listen and be present and make sure my client that I sold the whole life to was happy, with the way that the SRS agent was helping them answer their questions while I learned, I would make $2,500 for just learning and being a good, and then now you protected your client and then added more value to their household, which means they'll never replace the whole life that you sold them.
That's right. 100% annuity comp grid, right? So actually the lowest is 5.25 with Athene. So now it would actually 100 grand would be $5,250, right? And then you do $100,000. Once you issue pay 100 grand, you're up to 6%. So that's a 0.75 bump. So, and that's one annuity typically, max 2, and then you go up from there. And yeah, I mean, that's how it works. And if, by the way, it's your job to track this, not Grady's or not your manager. Your job's to track your comp, even on the life side. Like, and we're not trying to give people raises and bumps, but like, there's a lot to pay attention to. So if you're an agent and you did $500,000 in annuities and you're at a 6%, you should be reaching out to Grady going, hey, I did 500 grand. I should be at the blue level. Like, help us out, because this is your money and you should want it. You should track it, just like on the life side. You should track your monthly production, because the goal is to move up that comp as fast as humanly possible. Grady wants you to move up. Hurt us for the more you win, the more we win. So start out there at 5.25. And I mean, one of our new agents, Grady, he one of the first few appointments he ran, he had a guy that had $1 million, and he called me up. He's like, dude, I'm like, okay, we did an appointment over Zoom. I mean, $1 million annuity. He's a brand new agent. Like, it's $52,000. I was like, actually, and I bumped him up because he was blown. He's at 6.5 now. I was like, put him at 6.5. Give him the 6,500. I mean, 65,000. Right? It's the right thing to do. But dude, he asked. I'm like, God, and I was like, can you imagine if you would have not asked that question at home? Because it set him up for like, he's got an assistant, like, and this guy's new. He's got an assistant, he's got an office, he's buying, his lead budget is $1,200 to $1,500 a week, where it should be, and he's killing it. He paid 70 families last month.
Amazing.
and he submitted 150,000. So last month he helped 70 families and submitted 150.
Another
Like,
good month on the way. That's awesome.
another good month on the way, but it was a mixture of IULs, annuities, and final expense. Like, he's new. He's just listening to what he should be doing, and he's following it. And y'all can do this. It's, again, it is so not hard. Once you do one or two, you can be like, man, this is gravy. One of the first annuities I wrote, this is the funny. So I pull up to this house, and so the way it used to work is with the mortgage leads, I would call through them, and whatever I didn't set, I would give to Jamie, because she's like, her and Dominique Rogers are the best two on the phone in the company, bar none. And I'd put them two up against anybody and bet my entire bank account. So I'd give her everybody I couldn't set, but I would write notes on it. Like, this guy was an asshole. Like, I'd write all kinds of funny shit, and she would go like, why do you write that stuff on there? I'm like, I don't know. I just want to see if you can set the people that I think are jerks. So this one I had written a special note on, she said it. And I get there, and they had a picket fence, like it was supposed to be white, but it was like brown. And half the pickets were missing, and the grass was like 3.5 foot tall. Walking up the steps to the house, I thought I was literally going to fall through them. So I knock on the door, and this broad answers, and she had a mustache and 3 teeth in her mouth. And I was like, I really got to go in here. And you ever been in a house that has cats that smells?
Yeah.
It's like the worst, and you can't get it out. That's what this house smelled like. So I go in, and I'm like, I'm going to be in and out here in 5 minutes. That was my goal. So I sit down at the table. I start going through the client intake sheet. I get to the part where it's like, do you have anything that acts like life insurance? The guy's like, IRA, 401k, 403b. He's like, yeah, I have a 401k. I was like, cool. How much do you have in it? He goes, 750. I said, dollars? He said, 1,000. I said, get out of here. Like, your house looks like it's going to fall over. Your wife's got 3 teeth in her mouth. Your floor is like, carpet's got holes in it. I'm going like, why are you living like this? He goes, I was told when I was young, don't spend any money and save it all. I'm retiring next month. Don't know what to do with my money. I said,
Wow.
Okay. So I wrote him $330 mortgage policy. Went out to my car, got an application for a theme product. This was what, 2014. So it might have been, God, what was that product called? They don't even have the product. It was an income product. And I wrote $750,000 annuity and a $330 mortgage policy, all in an hour and a half, and made like 45 grand. I was like, dude, this is the greatest thing ever. Like, the greatest thing ever. So, but if I would have judged that book by the cover, I would have never asked the question. In fact, I probably wouldn't even have gone in, but I did. And I just asked all the questions, and I wound up, and I talk to that guy twice a year. And he's a great dude. It's just they're not the prettiest people.
They're good savers.
They were savers.
They
So
were savers.
guys, I challenge y'all to do that. At every single point, ask the question. And if you don't want to write them, just give their name and number. Just give their name and number, Grady. I'm going to get that option up on Ask a Specialist for y'all to get the referral, 10% referral bonus. But I mean, it's not that complicated. Go try it yourself. Just try it and see. And if you write 1 to 2 annuities a month, if you have cash flow problems, they really will be gone. That's all I can say.
That's awesome, Frank. This is clarifying and eye-opening, and also challenging, guys, because that's the goal, right? You came to this business, you came to this company to get better, to grow, to change your life financially. And some of you are probably taking some significant steps, but adding in annuities will make you and start running instead of just walking to success. So Frank, this was fantastic. FFLAMS.com is where the bulk of our training lies. We've also got some different training websites. We'll have a annuity leaderboard up for our agency next week. But set an intention to learn, right? How do I get good? Well, you just say, I'm going to 30 minutes a night after my appointments are done, after I'm done dialing, I'm going to go look up one YouTube video on how to sell annuities. I swear, if you watch 5 videos on how to sell annuities, you're going to see a lot of similarities, right? Just like watching videos of mortgage protection and final expense. The words, the intent is all the same. The words tweak a little, and you kind of do it your own way, start to ask the question, and then get off the phone, right? You don't need to sell the annuity on the phone. You need to get the information, then get it to a professional. We're not expecting you to be able to close them on the phone. You don't know what you're doing. Don't put yourself in that position. Be the good connector and connect your client to the SRS team, and the SRS team will help you the rest of the way. So any final
thoughts, Frank,
to send them off?
Yeah, 100% can be done over the phone. It might just take 2 or 3 phone calls as opposed to just one follow-up appointment, but we're doing them nonstop telesales. So they can definitely be done over the phone. And again, get with the Ask a Specialist person. And I promise you, you will not regret it. I promise you. It will change your business for the good. If you're looking to get into an office, if you're looking to hire a staff, it's usually anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 extra a month. That's what it's been for me when I did them, and I have no doubt and it's an even easier time right now. Like when I was selling, the market wasn't awful. In fact, it started to get a little bit better. It's god awful out there. People are dying. They're like, yes, please save my money. I don't trust the market. So if anybody could really sell them right now, again, you just ask the question. Please, please, please ask the question. Help us out. FFL is trying to get to $1 billion. Let's just skip $1 billion and go to $2 billion. And if we do what we're supposed to do with this side of the business in 2024, we'll do $2 billion.
Came on. I love it, Frank. Appreciate you, buddy. Good to see you. More fun to come, man. Thanks for everything.
Yes. You too, man. Thank you, Grady. Appreciate you guys. Take care. Love y'all.
You too, brother. All right, everybody. Make it a great day. Go get your Ask the Golden Question. How many people can post in the chat and Slacks today that they asked the golden question? That's the goal. Let's get better, everybody together. So thank you all. Thank you, Frank. Talk real soon, everybody. Bye for now.